square roots. Square roots from the beginning. Assuming you don't know anything. Yeah, assuming you don't know anything. You can write later. You can have anything here. If you use this notation, we call that square root notation. The meaning of this square root notation, again, these are rules, okay? Don't change the rules the way you want. Use the rule. That would be, that's it. So whenever you see this one, you convert that into here. Straight. Yeah. Now for example, if I give you square root 5 multiplied with square root 5, you need to find the answer. Listen carefully. Whenever you see this square root, you have to convert this notation into that. So that would be 5 half times 5 half. Make sense? Now if you see this one, then what you are going to use after? So the square root business is done, right? Now this is a different business now. What is this business? Index rows. Yeah? Index rows. So bases are equal. So if they are multiplying, so the indexes are additive. You remember that law? Half plus half. Additive. So it's going to be 5. 1. Now, if you know this matter, if you know this one, you understand as an important thing that square root 5 times square root 5 is 5 end of the day. Right? So you can extend this idea in this way. You have an element, square root, times another element, square root, is equal to full element. Full element. Because of this thing. Right?
Wait, so Ellie plus Ellie, N times Ellie is elephant.
Oh, no. It's not like that. Elephant square root times elephant square root is full element. Like that.
Okay.
Oh, this is an ugly example. Elephant is an ugly example. I will use my favorite example. Chicken? MJ.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
I like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, go for it. So this is how it is. Now, from now onwards, if you see something like this, a square root times a square root, what is the answer straight away? Easy. This is what we call learning, okay? So we see something, we use it. We use that pattern. Now what about this one? A plus 1 square root times a plus 1 square root. What is that? So elephant square root times elephant square root is not equal to elephant without the trunk. It's just elephant, okay? It's just a plus 1 here. Look at the pattern.
Sorry. Square root.
Yeah, square root itself. Any questions? Come on. Hey, no questions. That's all? Any questions? 100%? Then do this one then. Do this one. 2 times A times 2 times A. First question. Oh, you can write it down and then do that question.
We write that down?
Yeah, write it down. Because these are the basics, right? Just write it down.
Do we still need the brackets option?
What do you mean by bracket?
Half.
I will teach you that. Yeah. For now, just put it. I will teach you what is a bracket, and I will give that sense. Good. Okay, so if you're done, do that question. Then
Wait, so if any number in a square root comes by itself is the same number?
say it again.
Wait, so let's say like I had 6, the square root of 6 times the square root of 6 is going to equal 6.
Yeah. Why? That's what I showed you. Because end of the day, you are going to use the index law rule.
Yeah. But even if you use the initial roots, it's going to have this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But what is that 2A?
Yeah. So here,
Yep.
so 2a whole thing square root times 2a whole thing square root.
I'm saying like the number 2.
This one?
Yeah.
2 times, so 2a square root means in between you have times, right?
Yep. So 2A.
2a square root. You are telling me the answer?
No.
Okay, do it and we'll discuss. Do it first, we'll discuss that. Which school you are going? What? What is that? No, that's it. Very please. So the very primary and very please to the first ones. And Aaron and Amashi both carries, right? Alfina?
On time, are you going to? Going to Beaconsfield.
No, you are going to BKC. Then you are in
7.
in Berwick.
Yeah. No, in Beaconsfield.
Done? Done. Okay, let's discuss. What is the answer to this one? Huh? 2A. Correct answer. Correct answer. Why? Because whatever you have here, always consider Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan times whatever should give you that, right? It doesn't matter how many things you have there.
It's kind of like using the bases to like put it on the thing.
What about this one?
2A.
I got two.
The answer is 2A. Why 2A? Because all are multiplicative, right? So this is multiplied with this is multiplied with this. But you understand this separately. A square root times A square root is A, right? Then this 2 is outside, right? This 2 is like, different thing, right? So you put that there, that's it. What about this?
2A.
Huh?
Got A.
2 and 1 half.
And 2 times 1 half is 4.
How much? Think. I told you this. I told you this. I'm not in a hurry. If you understand this, you're done. Take my word. I'm giving you the injection. You know that story? You know that story, no? Injection story? No? Okay. You know, I'll tell you one thing. This happened to me, okay? Now, I was very sick. Like when I was a kid. A kid means like 18, 19, 20 years old. Then I had medicine like this tablet, that tablet, right? So many days I had, many doses. But nothing happened. Okay. Then I had to go to emergency. Why? Because the temperature was high for a couple of days. Okay? So I had to go to emergency. When I go to emergency, they figured out the problem, right? It was a bacteria problem, right, in my body, in my blood. So they figured it out. Even before they figured it out, okay, you have a bacteria problem, so I'm going to give you the tablet, this dose, 7 days, you eat that, you will be good. But nothing happened. Then when I go to emergency, same thing they figured out, oh, you have the bacterial infection, right? They brought an injection and just inject me. In a couple of hours, cured. Right? So likewise, I'm giving you the injection.
Friends just say like, if you don't do this right, you get an injection. Like,
Already injection is given. I'm not going to give you the tablets anyways.
How old are you now?
Huh?
How old?
15. What?
You even
You're
said that
15.
at the start of this
Hmm?
class.
you're over 15.
I do time travel. That's
You
what.
look like you look like you're 30.
20 years.
You're like you're 30.
I take.
He's in the 90s.
Okay. So if you look at this, like, look, this is how you think. If you look at this, half A, what is this stupid thing? Right? I mean, in between you have multiplication, right? This is something you have to really think. 2 square root of A. Looks confusing. But what is that? It's just multiplication. Yeah? Now, this multiplied with this multiplied with this multiplied with this with that, right? Now, can you see, now if so many things are multiplying each other, can you arrange the similar stuff together?
Yep.
You can, right? So you can write this one if you want. Half times, 2 times, square root A times, square root A. No problem. Why?
Because it has the same outcome.
Huh?
Has the same outcome.
Why the reason is this? 2 times 3 times 4 can be written as 3 times 2 times 4. In any order, you get the same answer. That is grade 1 math, right?
But grade like 4.
No.
No. No.
Is it?
No.
No.
No, this
No,
starts
so
with
this is
grade
this.
2.
This one, grade 1, 2?
Grade 1, 2.
1, 2?
Yeah.
So, but now we bring that knowledge with the, you can have that in any order, you get the same answer, right? So we are going to use that knowledge in here. All the multiplications are there. So you are going to arrange it accordingly. Now here, half times 2 is what, guys? 1. These 2 will cancel and 1. Square root of A times square root of A is what, guys? A. So then this multiplication comes here, this one. These 2 multiply each other, you get this. These 2 multiply each other, you get this one. What is the answer? Okay, last one. Last one. Last one. Again, look. There is a multiplication, right?
Yep.
Now, how many things are multiplying each other? Three things are multiplying each other. Can you change the order when they are multiplying?
Yep.
What knowledge is that? Grade 2 knowledge. You use that. So 2 times square root 5 times square root 5. Now, what is this guy?
5.
That guy is 5. And then this multiplication I am going to copy here. This 2 I am going to copy here. Is there anything wrong? No. 2 times 5?
10.
That's how we do the business. Is there any magic here?
Nope.
No magic here at all. Now, huh?
It's not rocket science.
Yeah, it's not rocket science. You know, as long as you don't know the subject, you feel like rocket science. Right? But if you really understand it, it's just common sense, right?
You feel like a terrible narration.
Okay. Ready, everyone?
Yep.
If I have square root 5 times square root 5, this is obviously 5, right? Right? Now, in a question, if they give you square root 5, 100% 5, you know the theory. But there are some questions that they will give you 5 here, they will give you just 5, you have to break that into square roots. That means you have to do the opposite, reversing, right? So, if you have 5, you do the opposite. It should be right. And if you have 7, how do you write that in terms of square rooting?
Square root 7 times square root 7.
Square root 7. So what we do, we are going this way, right? But if you look at this and go that way, it's obvious, right? Easy peasy? Okay. A. How do you write A in square roots?
Square root times square root.
It's only patience and renunciation.
No. No, look at it.
So I'll offer the opportunity to you.
No, you do.
No.
Okay. Then next one, A plus 1.
Square root a plus 1 square root n times square root a plus 1.
Very good.
I'm so smart.
I mean, this is all about patterns, right? Understanding the patterns, right? That's how you do math. Any questions so far? Amasha? Just hold us silent. You didn't speak one single word in the class. You scared to me? Alright.
One question. In number 3, but half times 2. How is it 1?
How is it one?
The hub.
Oh, right. No, wait, no, half.
No, 2 and 2 cancel each other.
Oh, stupid question.
Like, you know, 2 times 2 is 2 plus 2, right? So like,
My head is it's way bigger.
2 and 2 cancel each other.
It's way bigger in the equation.
Okay, look, mathematically, you can do this. Now, when you are multiplying, this is your numerator, this is your denominator. If you have this number, you have a denominator here, right, which is 1 always.
it's a whole number.
Now, yeah, it's a whole number, but in the denominator, you have 1 always, right? Now, when two fractions are multiplying, you directly multiply. 1 times 2, 2, 2 times 1. So you can think in that way, but when you are used to it, it does like that. Any questions? Any questions so far? All good? Okay. Oh, you have to write it down. Write it down.
Good job.
Because this is your note, right? So I'm not going to read you this again. One time in a life.
This would be a very useful book to look back at.
Yeah, so you can use this one.
You go to VCE,
Yeah.
right?
Take this book with you.
This will be important.
Cheating.
No, you can study it, but you can't.
No, because all the fundamentals are going to be covered.
Write it in your hand.
How do I quit and go?
No, just like the fundamental.
You missed the Hussein Bolt story last week.
Yeah.
It was the
What
best
was it about?
story in the world.
It was about using both things.
We discussed about the Hussein Bolt last week.
Half the lesson was about.
He was like this, and then it's like this.
Can you tell it to me? Can you tell it to me?
Okay,
Do that.
so in
Okay, write it down first.
2004,
Write it down first.
I did.
I did.
As soon as you started talking, I did. 2004, yeah, Usain Bolt, when he was at the Olympics, he got like third, fourth, something place, yeah, not first. And then he started training, and then put his mind to it, and then he got first place, like the boss.
See, he changed his life.
Yeah.
I know. You did, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the attitude. Okay, now look. Um, 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 3, I leave the answer. Grade 1 method again. 1 divided by 2 multiplied with 1 divided by 3, and leave the answer. Now I'm putting this to show you the distinction between the multiplication and the addition of fractions.
What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Isa. Okay, what is the answer?
5, 6, and 1.
Yeah. So when two fractions are adding each other, you have to consider common denominator. Right? You have to take the common denominator. So you multiply this by 3, multiply 3, multiply 2, multiply 2. So it's going to be 5 divided by 6 if you do that. But when two fractions are multiplying each other, you can directly multiply. You don't have to worry about what is that. That is the rule. Don't change the rule. Follow the rule.
And then you might have to simplify it.
Yeah. So 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 3. That's all. All good? Okay. Question? Questions? Do this for me. First question. 1 divided by square root of a times 1 divided by square root of a. Okay, just give me the answer. Don't tell the answer because others will just copy.
I did it too. You said not to tell.
Wait.
I'm confused.
Oh, I didn't realize.
I did it.
Yes.
And then the second time.
Okay, now this. We find common denominator.
What is it missing? Is it this? Is it just that? Sometimes I feel like I'm pretty sure it's just because it has the same. You're hurting my brain.
Got it?
No, you're hurting my brain.
Got it. Okay, look at this. Amash. Got it? Okay, now guys, everyone. Now, looks weird, right? I mean, if you just look at it, oh man, what is this? So complicated. But if you know the fact,
It's not hard. It's not like easy.
it's like drinking water, right? Like 1 times 1. If you have a multiplication, 1 times 1? What? Square root a times square root a. Now, this can be a so complicated question, but if you know what is happening, right? You're going to shoot. Yeah, Yeah. So now do you understand why people are saying, I hate math? It's because right fundamentals. What about this?
I got 2 over 2. I
got 2 over, yeah.
2 over.
Yeah, I got 1.
2 over 8.
2 over
Two over
square root of 2 over
2 over
2 over what?
Square root
2 over 2.
Square root.
That's what I
Yeah,
got.
the square
That's
root.
what I
No.
got. Square root.
2 over 2 squared.
Is that right?
I don't
How
know.
come? Why?
No, it's
Common
just the
denominator.
same.
It's
It's
just
just
when you times the square root, it's not a square root.
2
When you
over
times
2
the
squared.
Is it in times?
2 over 2 squared.
Because look, when you are adding, look, when you are here, like this. 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 2, what is that?
1.
2 divided by 2, you are not going to change these things, right? That's the whole point. Yeah? You don't change it, that's the whole point. Yeah? So you are not changing. All good, guys? Okay, next one. I'm going to give a small test
When?
like, before the end of the class. On this, on what we have learned. So you all have to consciously understand these things. I will monitor you individually. Otherwise what, right? So understand, if you don't have anything, raise your hand.
Can I use this?
No.
No, have to do this.
You can't even use it. It's not science.
Okay, look at this. This is a little challenging question. Little challenging question.
I just put out the question.
I'll put it here so that you can see better.
I don't do this.
If you can do this question, right? Suppose you are graduated.
Suppose you're what?
Graduated.
That's
If you can do that, just do that.
No, I don't know.
Please.
Done?
Who said that? Done. What?
Do you realize the value I added on you? Do you realize the value I added on you? Me and you. Correct answer.
You got the correct answer.
Where is the answer? That's not multiplication. Hey, there is not multiplication, that's plus.
He should have
Don't tell them, don't tell them.
Watch, the teacher will be like, yes.
Don't tell them.
Is it? Did you get it wrong?
Okay, you got the right answer?
No.
That's wrong.
Maybe.
That's wrong. I got one answer already.
Yeah, I got the same as
Use your fundamentals, very easy. If I teach you this, you will kill yourself.
I'm getting junction.
Don't teach me this.
I wish. That is that easy.
So, wait, is it 2 on the top right?
Huh?
2 on the top right?
You are asking me the answer.
Yes. Nice.
Try.
How to get the answer 101 right there.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you one hint. Two fractions, right? Adding each other, right? So what is the requirement? Common denominator.
Oh, is it this?
Biggest int.
This one.
Stick with the fundamentals. Common denominator.
Is this right?
Square root of 8.
Yeah.
Is it are probably wrong.
Got 2 answers.
Who's the other
Who
one?
else? Who else?
No.
Of course.
Stick with the fundamental thing. You want to try, Amasha? Try. Try.
I'm just gonna give you random answers until I get it right.
So then you have to try million number of answers.
Yeah,
Are you gonna try?
yeah. Is
I
it,
think you should
is it
start
right?
working on some of these answers.
Is this alright?
No.
Okay, next answer.
You know what to do. 2 fractions adding together. So you should have the common denominator. So find the common denominator and do it.
Look up to.
Is it hard?
No.
Is that hard?
No.
No.
Well, it's
You are not looking in that way. That's why you are not doing it. It's not hard. You are not thinking in that way. I'm asking you to think about your mom. You are thinking about your dad. It's not going to work. Think about your mom. Then you get the answer. No. No.
I know, I'm just giving random answers.
You wrote down that square root of 8 times square root of 8 is 8.
Okay.
This is also.
Then you
Oh, I just realized.
What? Tell me. Please.
You know, no. I can assure one thing. This is so fundamental. You can see these are fundamental things, right? This question is like deviating a little bit from a regular question. Do you think if I throw this to a grade 10 student, do you think he or she will do it comfortably?
No.
No. No. How do I know? I have given these questions. They fail to do.
Basically, my brother's
Was it hard?
Give it to your brother. See whether he is going to do it. You try.
Who am I scoring?
Can I do that to my brother?
It's not completed, right? Complete the answer.
Is this right? Is this right?
No.
Look up and bottom.
I don't know.
Up and bottom.
Okay, try.
Okay, can I take over?
No.
Okay.
The base is A.
Okay, Shema. Not Shema. Okay, Shema. Complete your answer. No.
Wait.
Okay. I'll take over. Here, what do you need to do? Common denominator, right? Now, we have our mind, right? What mind we need? Conscious mind. We don't need a junk mind. We need a conscious mind. Okay? So we will consider this way. What is A?
Square root of 8 times square root of 8.
You're taking measures.
I just did that, right? I just did that. So A is square root of A and square root of A, right? What makes you to think in that way? This one. This square root A will give you the hint to think that A can be written as this way. You know this one separately, right? But what makes you to think, Jesse? Don't go to a different word. What makes you to think? You have to use this square root A. Because when you see square root A, yeah, it's obvious to write this here, right? Now, you have A means square root of A times square root of A. So, to have a common denominator, what you have to do?
Times the
You
square root.
multiply this by square root of A. You do the same thing here.
That's all mine.
Then top here you have 1 plus numerator, you have 1 plus 1 times square root of A is a square root of A. Divide by what do you have in the denominator?
A.
Square root of A times square root of A, right? Here also square root of A times square root of A, right? What is that?
Square root of
A.
A.
I told you will kill it.
Look at, look,
I'm gonna
look,
big
it's
push that.
look. I did this. I also look. If I just rub out this, I'm right. If I just rub out, shall we? No, this is your answer.
Okay, very easy question. Very easy question.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, 10 is easy. 1 divided by 10 plus 1 divided by
I
2.
was one mistake.
Not about that mentality.
When he
Like,
was explaining it, I tried
explain that.
and I was so close. See, I did square roots. Ready?
Done? Done?
Yeah. I'm so angry.
Huh?
I'm so angry.
Angry?
Yeah.
For what?
For not getting the answer.
You are angry with me or you are angry
No,
with
me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So calm down.
I can't. I'm gonna drop my pencil.
What answer?
Ow. Oh, you can do the fourth one.
Your thinking is right, but simplification mistake. Why this is that? Oh. You are multiplying this by square root 5, right? So when you are multiplying this by square root 5, you have to do the same thing on top. What do you multiply by 2? Was that a mistake? Go and got the answer? No, small mistake. What is it? No. I just gave you numbers.
I'm not showing you mine.
Is it 5 out of 10?
Hey guys, I gave you numbers. No letters. Grade 1 math I gave you.
This grade 1.
Yeah.
They're still teaching us fractions now. In grade 5.
That's what the school system is doing.
I know.
They're
They're
still,
like this. They're like this.
teaching us how to
Make this a
divide.
half.
Okay, you talk to grade 6, 7, 8 students, right?
Mhm.
Still in some schools they learn fractions.
We're
And decimals.
We're learning multiplication.
Yeah, multiplication. Yeah, grade 6.
I'm really
So, times?
Yeah, no time. Like,
Decimal multiplication?
No, clock.
Clock thing, 24-hour clock.
who's the oldest people?
My daughter, she is in grade 2, she knows 24-hour clock.
He's still teaching it.
When I was a forget about me. Like in some other countries, in grade 2, you know many things.
The same thing, but the teaching is how to be an analog and a digital clock.
Yeah,
What is that?
Analog and digital clock.
Clock.
And
In grade 6?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
I want to see this area.
Yeah, see, the two people with the glasses are the
They're
smartest.
teaching us adding, subtracting, dividing.
In your school?
These two people with the glasses are the
That's
smartest. And then you need some glasses, then you get each one.
No.
Um,
Use the fundamental thing right. Now, if you have brothers and sisters, elders, right, who are doing VCE or in year 10, maybe probably VCE or above, you should know better what is happening. He knows better what is happening, right? His brother is in VCE as well. Who else? Your brother knows Little bit.
My one's.
Or your brother knows better.
My one's.
Your sister knows better. Right? I mean, that's standard, you have to catch someone. Oh, you're, yeah. He's done. Do one thing. We'll do experiment. Hey, we'll do experiment, okay? This question, give it to your sister. Don't say anything.
I'm gonna do that.
Do experiment. Okay? This question, give it to your sister, brother.
Why?
And answer. I don't understand this. Can you give me the answer and show me how to do that?
If he doesn't get it, I'm gonna torture him.
100%. We both will do.
Yeah.
Okay, look. Can I take over? Can I take over? Because she's coming to my easy class. And I will definitely do that. Can I take over?
Yeah.
Sheldon boy? You good? Now, common denominator, right? Now square root 5. So here, 10. Now, what if you multiply this by square root 5 and this by square root? Then we'll do the math, right? Then you get, we will write it down. You get 1 divided by 10 plus numerator, base, denominator,
I didn't
5.
write it right. I'm done.
So easy.
I'm so angry.
Okay? Yeah, makes sense? Why not?
You could have just like.
Why not? It's square root 5 is 5. 1 times square root 5 is square root 5.
That makes sense. That's why I did it.
Okay, then what I do, I can see 10 here. Look, I'm not done yet. Guys, I'm not done. I have 10 here and 5 here, right? Now I have to get the common denominator, right? You multiply this by 2. You multiply this by 2. So that would be 1 plus 2 times square root 5 is what? 2 times 2 multiplied by mango.
5.
2 multiplied by mango, 2 mangoes, right? 2 mangoes.
It's mango. 5 mango. No, just 1 mango.
2 multiplied by square root 5, 2 mangoes. 2 times mangoes, 2 mangoes.
And now you said,
I'm saying, I'm tiny.
I'm gonna write that down.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna write
it's
that
like 5. And
No.
like, your times another 5.
You can't do, yeah, here, right?
2
Like that. And then it's 5.
Yeah.
So that's what
How's the mango look?
Yeah. Then you have here 10, 10. Answer would be this.
Mango equals 2.
You don't have
Isn't that what I did?
Huh?
I didn't do
Well, I
This is the
forgot
last
the
one.
one.
This is the final
I
answer.
should have done an order, or I would have got it right. If I didn't
Guys.
do an order.
Can you simplify this further, numerator?
Yeah.
You can't.
No.
Because look, look, look what, look at this. 2 times 2 elephants plus a donkey. Can you do that? No.
Yeah.
You can do if you have this. You can do if you have 1 square root 5 plus 2 square root 5. Then you can 1 tiger plus 2 tiger. 3 tiger. Right? If you have 1 plus 2 square root 5 here, how do you understand this in that sense? 2 tigers. Do you have 1 tiger here?
No.
No, you don't have anything, right? So if you don't have anything, take it as a donkey.
Yeah.
So 2 tigers plus 1 something else.
That's so confusing.
That means you can't do.
How many donkeys?
These are fundamental math, right?
Yeah.
Observation. So that's why you keep the answer in that way,
Did you get that right?
right? Some wrong answers.
That's right.
Some wrong answers. People do 3 square root 5 divided by 10. People do, look, some wrong answers. Some wrong answers. Guys, people do 3 square root 5 divided by 10. Right?
If I had to switch these
Yeah.
two around.
That is wrong because there is no definition like that. Why you are doing it?
This.
Don't create math. Just follow the rules.
Because you're possibly donkey and tiger.
Yeah, and you are making a mixture.
You get a tiger.
Tiger.
You wish.
What is so wrong? He's like,
Okay, look. Next question. Next question. 1 divided by square root of a 2 square root of a plus 1 divided by a. Do it consciously.
so 2 donkeys.
Do it consciously.
Two times square root.
2 donkeys times 6.
Whose book is this?
That's fine.
I'm bored.
You neither do I. I just remember that.
I
that's
simplified
2
it,
donkeys.
but
Got the answer?
No.
I simplified it.
Just stick with the basics. You need to get the common denominator.
The common denominator.
Denominator.
A denominator. I'm just gonna write it down. So this.
Got the answer? Correct answer.
Oh no.
Who?
This guy.
Stick with the basics. If you have any clarification questions, yeah, you can ask. Shall we go? Done? Done? Yeah, yeah. Why two? Yeah, but you know, square root A was. I know, I understand your line of thinking, it's valid, but then you are missing one thing, square root of A.
I'm not even this.
I'm stupid.
Look, wait, is this the one? I should write it down.
I don't know. I was gonna say no.
Hey, you were close.
No.
Yeah, you just said you were close.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so
Okay.
close.
Okay, let me take
Was
over.
it, wait.
Yeah, but
Is it this? Rejected.
Okay, look at this.
I see.
You need to get the common denominator, right?
A.
Yeah? Again, why don't you look at this? This is there. I'm just adding 2 there. What's wrong with you? It's the same question, I'm adding 2 there.
Wait.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I still don't understand.
I understand.
No, wait, I do.
A is square root of A times square root of A, right? Yeah? Now, to get the common denominator, you have 2 square root of A's. You are going to multiply this by 2 square root, multiply by square root of A. Then you do the same thing here. Okay. Any questions up to now? Guys, look at the board. Any questions up to now? Conceptually. A means square root of A is square root of A. So, to get 2 square root of A's, I'm going to multiply this by another square root of A. You can clearly see now, 2 square root of A's are there, 2 square root of A's are there. So, we are settled a little bit, right? But one thing is bothering you here. These two, right?
Times 2.
Look, now here you have 2 square root of a square root of a. Here you have square root of a square root of a, right?
Yeah.
To obtain 2, what you do?
Oh.
Yes!
Okay? So you can see now, look, observation. How much? Are you catching? 2 square root of a square root of a. 2. So we will check. See, 2 to 2. Square root of a to square root of a. Square root of a to square root of a. Done. Denominator is matching, right? Now it's just a matter of writing. So on top, what do you have? 1 square root of a. Plus, what do you have here? 2. Down. Denominator, what do you have? 2 times square root of a times square root of a.
That's
Now,
right.
square root of a is square root of a is a. A. So it's going to be 1 square root of a plus 2 divided by 2.
How do you get that so quickly?
Big brain.
I thought I half one.
Don't say big brains, small brains.
But what?
Because you know small brains are smart.
Oh.
Actually,
You don't know that? If the big brains are smart, why the elephants are stupid?
Well, you're supposed to have like a small, fluffy brain. Because that's how brains are made.
You know Einstein's brain? You
It's
know,
this small.
Einstein's brain is smaller than, like, few grams smaller, like few grams smaller than a regular brain. Makes him smart. Don't you know that?
No.
That's why don't say big brain.
It actually gives
Say
you
you have a small brain.
I have a small brain.
Small brain.
It's so small.
Small brain. Small brain.
I actually kind of like having a small brain.
Small brain.
Yeah.
You're not joking.
Takes up less
I'm not
space.
sure, just
I'm
think
gonna
about it.
stress it.
Then why does that have a big head?
Huh?
He's got a big head but small brain.
Yeah, big head but small. So like you have this bottle, right? But you can have little water, right?
That's still water.
Huh?
Still water.
That's still water, but little, right?
Still
Okay, any questions here?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Please ask if you have anything here. I am teaching you the patterns here. I'm not teaching you math here. Right? I'm teaching you patterns. If you understand these patterns with the rules, eventually you learn math. Make sense? Yeah? So try to understand the patterns. And if I give you a different pattern, other people will say, oh, this is a big question. No, it's not a big question. Big question to them because they don't know the pattern.
What's the
But for us, it's just another pattern. We will identify that and get the answer. Okay? So don't think, oh, this is a hard question. It's not a hard question. It's a hard pattern so that you have to find the right track to find the answer. Understand what I'm saying? Okay. Let's do
Oh,
this
now I
question.
get it.
Ready? Now.
I just get it after you said it.
Amazing.
But that makes sense.
Next question. I'll give you an easy question. I'll give you an easy question.
Please say
I'm just small brain.
It's not like
Your definition of easy questions is like
really good.
this definition of easy questions.
I know, right? This is really good. Oh, okay.
I told you, easy question.
That's very hard. That's easy. Very hard.
This one.
Okay. Who's trying to keep us? Anna, you?
I already got it.
Yes, guys! As soon as he writes a question, he's like, I got it.
Yes.
I got it. You
Got
got
it?
it.
Okay. Let's do it. Now here, you need to have the common denominator. No square roots, no big problems, right? So life is so easy here. So you have 2 here, you have a here. So to have a common denominator, you multiply this by here. This. You multiply this by 2. Now observe. What is the denominator here? 2a. What is the denominator here?
2a.
We are set. If you have the common denominator, we are set. Then you add 1 times a plus 1 times 2 denominator 2a. Now can you add a plus 2 guys? Why?
There's a donkey and a
The
horse.
donkey and tiger.
Yeah, you can keep it like that. You can plus it together.
So that's like, you don't know what A is.
You don't know what it is. Next question.
I'm so
1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by square root 2. Very easy question again. Jesse, attempt that. Jesse, what school do you go? Oh, you also? Both? So there are many St. Kevin's, right? So you know each other? Oh. Why you guys are acting like strangers then?
Wait, who are you?
There are 4 students from St.
Wait, 4 students?
No, that's like complete strangers.
Okay, now
Wait, who are you again?
Who are you?
Wait, who are you?
look at this. Square root 2 is here. I'm going to multiply this by square root 2. This by square root 2. This is pure observation and the knowledge, right? Why? Because square root 2 times square root 2 gives you 2. That is our basic knowledge, right? Then you write it here. 2 is your denominator. 1 plus 1 times square root 2 is what? 1 times square root 2 is what? Square root 2. Now can you add?
No,
Why?
because there's like
Because
a
I have
special
two
one.
donkeys and
Donkey tiger.
Guys, when you go to school, okay, don't tell, okay, this is donkey, this is tiger, okay? Don't do that explanation. This explanation is just for us to understand the material better. But that makes sense. Okay, now what about this one? So you will get the video today. Okay, please go home and watch, so that you can see, like you can watch and like see my explanation, right? So you can redeposit what you learned.
this guy's probably already done.
That's it.
We're already done.
That says I'm done. Small brain.
I'm done already.
Oh my.
What is the answer? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Small brain.
Wait, was this steps right?
Is this right?
It's not the on step.
Makes sense. That set makes sense.
Is this right?
Correct, but unnecessary thing. How come plus comes?
Oh, I see something.
What did it do?
I see this.
Is this right?
The future.
You take the feature. Yes. the feature.
Slight error?
99% correct.
1% error.
1% error, like maybe a
Oh my god.
typo or
Wait.
like
One time.
when you are copying something, you copied the wrong thing.
If I'm right,
You copy the wrong thing.
Existential.
Correct.
yes!
Okay, guys, look at this. Now, what is the goal here? What is the goal here? Common denominator. Right? Now you have a square root here, you have 2 here, right? I mean, those are 2 different, right? So then what you do? You multiply this by square root of a. You multiply this square root of a. And then you have 2 square root of a here, you have just a here. So multiply this by 2. Multiply this by 2. Then you can see 2 square root of a here, 2 square root of a here. Make sense? Denominators are matching each other. So you copy the denominator, 2 square root of a. What do you have here? 1 square root of a is square root of a plus 1 times 2, 2. Can you add?
No, you can't have.
You can't. Just keep it.
Is this the same thing reversed with a plus?
No,
I
Doesn't
did it the
matter.
wrong way.
3 plus 5, 5 plus 3 is the same, right?
Well,
So this one's going to be a problem.
I missed the whole humanity. I missed the whole century.
Yeah, yeah, so I told you that, right? Okay, now, okay.
Another question. He's probably already done already.
This we have done already. This we have done already.
Yeah, we have.
Don't look at it. Just stop.
Done. Give me like a few hours.
Answer the question. I'm also.
You stop looking at me. Like, this is so this is this, and this is this.
Nah.
Wait. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
And then this
1
is
second,
same
no.
as that.
Go, buddy. 10 more seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
1, 9, 8,
Alright.
7, 6.
Boom. You can go.
Alright.
That's totally the same question.
Typing error. Typing error. Concept is right.
Oh my god.
Wait, is this right?
Subclass is subclass.
This is right.
Right.
I prayed to God before doing this
She's
question.
back.
You're gonna buy the error.
Yeah,
I don't see
correct.
anything.
Correct.
Oh, I see.
Why are you doing the multiplication? Correct.
How does the multiplication make sense?
Correct.
Oh yes.
Oh my God, calm down.
Small mistake. Correct. Correct. Okay. So now you can see goal, common denominator. You multiply this by square root of a, which is a, right? So you are making a here, right? So you multiply this by square root of a as well. So it's going to be now denominator a, numerator you have 1 plus.
A. Donkey line.
Huh?
I mean, blind donkey. It's got blind donkey.
Yeah.
I was wondering to like tick, but then tried to be a little scared. I was like, are you so close?
Okay. Okay. So now ready to get this challenge now? Next challenge. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
10th
Yeah,
row.
let's go.
If you make this too hard, I'm done.
No, it's not too hard.
Okay, let's get this.
I have a
No, I have a
medium. I
medium.
have a medium right now.
Okay, no.
Okay, good.
Easy. For you.
So if you can understand this one, I'm going to stop this lesson.
He's done. Let's go. He's already done.
So you are done up to grade 10.
Actually,
Wait, so this is grade 10
I'm
now?
gonna show off to my friends. Ultimate goal is to. Yeah. The only reason people come to this class is to show off.
Really?
Yeah. Not you though.
What kind of logic is that?
Yeah, he already knows everything.
Yeah.
What?
What kind of logic is that?
What was it?
Nothing.
What he just said.
Oh, what is it?
He said,
the reason everyone comes here is to show off to their friends.
It's true. Like,
I'm trying
now,
to
when
see.
I first think I'm dumb, now they think I'm like genius.
I can stay. I can
Yeah.
go.
What do you mean?
So people are normally as smart as you were when you started.
Yeah, I used to be really
Oh,
dumb.
people
I guess I
are
still am.
dumb. He used to be really dumb, but he's really dumb version of himself is very smart. What do you mean? You.
Privacy, good.
I haven't. Okay, so.
Oh,
I know.
wait a second. I have a theory.
When you take two of
Is
them.
it 1 plus 2a plus 1?
Did you
And
tell
the
me?
bottom I have to figure out.
Right.
So you tell me the
What
answer.
up, you have to,
But I have to figure it out. Wait, so the top is right?
I think right.
You guys tell me.
No, I'm good.
Not right.
I told you it's gonna be wrong.
Oh, so you're wrong. Look at them.
No, I'm right.
That's probably dumb.
Show me yours.
He's not
I'm
wrong.
trying to get the correct answer.
Yes.
Please, someone true or false?
Oh my God, someone's missed it.
Amazed.
Okay, I'm really close. I haven't even done it, but I'm really close. I'm getting close. Oh.
Put your first.
Just
Is it this one?
plus
this?
1 over it.
Did you right?
Don't do mistakes. Do your method.
Stop being so smart.
How did you get that right? My board.
Who got it right?
Oh, did you get it right? Oh, okay. Let's go.
Well, you didn't get it right. Is it?
Great answer.
He got it right.
So, but you can first simplify, right? 1 plus 2 is 3.
You got beat. Yeah,
Wait, 1 plus 2 is 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, 1 plus 2 is 3, sorry.
One plus two.
But still, I think something is missing.
Sir?
He's right, don't even bother.
No. No.
Ooh! Two in a row, shame. Shame.
Shame.
Can I take over?
Wait,
No.
Small mistake.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Almost broke the whole table.
I can't.
There's a small mistake in yours. Small mistake.
Brain stopped working.
Small mistake. Logic is one.
Is it?
Still small mistake.
You need to calm down.
You actually.
Is that
Sir?
only she's
No.
got it right. Who? Oh yeah.
Aaron? You are?
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
What happened to 2? There is 2, right? In the denominator. What you are doing is right, but you missed that 2. Include 2 and redo it, please. Otherwise, your method is right.
Is this right? No. Yeah, but like he's look.
Or you judge from my look? Hold on.
All wrong.
Hold on. Wait.
Oh, hold on.
Listen, all wrong.
Show me answer. Small mistake.
Show me the answer. Show me. Wait,
What's
what's
the small mistake?
the answer? This is small mistake for me too. Imagine if
You have to like pay me something.
Small mistake.
You said small mistake for me.
So no one gave me the answer yet.
Except her.
No. There's
Yeah,
I have
Oh, it's wrong?
She has a small mistake.
Small mistake?
Can I go?
Yes.
No,
No, hold on.
control
Say
one.
yeah.
Go to nation be like.
Can you please tell me the answer?
No, that's not correct. That's not correct. She's missing something.
Can I see your book? I want to see what you're missing.
Me?
She can't figure out what is missing.
I can like figure out what it is.
Okay, can I take go?
I can't figure out. Wait. No.
It's the first
Oh my
one.
god. I'm so happy.
What just you say?
Oh my god. This is my biggest compliment in life.
I'm great hands up actually.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so look, guys. Okay, look.
Oh my god.
Common denominator, right? Common denominator. So you have a here, right? You have square root a here. So calm down. So you have square root a here. You have a here. You have square root of a here, right? So now you have to make square root of a into a, right? So you multiply this by square root of a. 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 All good?
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to rewrite this one.
I didn't even do it. That's too long.
1 divided by a. Look at this. 1 divided by a plus numerator square root of a. Denominator, what do you have here? A. Here square root of a.
It's all in.
Denominator
A. 2A. Yeah, 2A. Yeah,
2A.
yeah, 2A.
2a.
Times the other by 2.
Okay, so now we are here now. What is next now?
You didn't times all of them.
Excellent. So you times by 2.
Think of
You times by 2. You times by 2. Right? Now, can you check the denominator? 2a, 2a, 2a. Yeah? Then it would be 2 plus, guys, look at this. 2 plus 2 square root of a plus square root of a. You saw your mistake?
Yes.
I'm done.
Divide by 2a.
And for all the denominators.
Can you simplify further?
You can plus 2 plus a plus a.
What? I don't get it. No,
So,
no.
do you know numerator? Can you simplify
Don't get
further?
finder. Thomas pressing.
Guys,
Right.
consciously look into this numerator. Can you simplify?
Does it like they're the same base and stuff?
Give you 100%.
Bruh.
Can you
They're the same base.
So close.
same?
Base? Like is it like
But you have addition.
Oh my god.
You have addition.
Oh, I was about to just say what he just said, but instead of addition. Oh my god.
You have addition. I know. You thought it's multiplication. I know. It's addition.
I think he can this.
what is the square root of
Imagine a seizure.
Would the square root of a be 1 times 10 plus square root of a? I mean no, 1 times square root of a.
Yeah. So square root of a is 1 times square root of a. Okay.
So if-
Listen to her. Listen to him. Listen to him.
So
Okay.
if you add that it could be 3 square root of a.
So what he's saying, he wants me to add these two. He wants me to add these two.
You.
Okay. So he wants me to add these two. Does it make sense or not? Why? Why you can add these together?
Because they're basically the same thing, just 2 instead of 1.
2 tigers
Oh,
plus 1 tiger.
The replay.
So it's going to be 2 plus 3 square root of a. That is what you were missing.
you were so close.
Divide by 2a. That's the final answer.
How come you said I was close?
Look what I got.
Look at that one.
This is what I got.
Wow. Whoa, I can see how close I was.
What? I got the second to last answer.
I somehow
Yeah.
got shoes.
You basically got it.
I did this. I did this. I was so
sorry, kids.
Yeah.
2 square root 8 plus
There are a few
3.
close answers, but you know, some algebraic mistakes. You were close, but you forgot that too.
Yes, sir.
Right? You forgot these two. Otherwise, you got all of these. Any questions?
I got it right. Yes.
So,
I feel like I got it right, so I was so happy.
And I realized